Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. So what themes will be coming up, what you can expect to see for the month in general. First of all, we'll be linking with Spirit just to get any insight, sort of pre-oracle cards. Then we'll be using the oracle cards, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, which is by Caroline Smith and John Astrop. Then we'll be pulling some oracle cards for outcomes and to wrap the reading up. So let's make a start. I'm just going to get a link with the guides, see what they want to sort of bring in here in relation to Geminis. Okay, first things first. First of all, I feel like there could be an extreme of dualistic energies around this month. And what I mean by that is if you're used to giving, then there'll be a requirement to sort of take back. If you are used to focusing on external influences, you're asked to pull back and focus on you. If you are more in your feminine energy, you'll be more in your masculine. There is a very, very dualistic energy going on with this, whereby actually the reason that this is being brought towards you is to close out cycles. There's going to be very specific karmic cycles that you'll be closing out this month that is overdue. So what I would say is, in order to sort of figure out what that would be, because obviously this is a general reading, please do take what resonates and leave the rest. If this doesn't strike a chord with you, doesn't sort of resonate with your intuition, please either, choose another video that I have or choose another reader. We're only here to deliver truth. If it doesn't resonate with absolutely everyone, then I would suggest that you take it with a pinch of salt, check back maybe with another video that I have, or even next month when I do the next Gemini video. It's entirely up to you. That is the beauty of this situation. So you will probably be better off to look through the year and figure out and have a look at sort of trends, themes that you would have seen. If a lot of your time was taken up in one area and you couldn't quite get a balance, it's asking you to look at that balance. This month is going to be about you resurrecting a balance, resurrecting things that have been maybe put to one side that need to be picked back up again. An overview of the situation that maybe, it's like, I'll give you an example. If you've had, let's say, physical health symptoms that have been on and off, on and off, on and off, is that a symptom of something else going on at large that you haven't acknowledged? Because I feel like that's another thing that could be happening. They're telling me to give my own personal example. I don't want to do this. Please don't make me do this. Okay, I'll give you my own personal example. So for the last 3 years, I've been battling with symptoms that are MS symptoms, multiple sclerosis symptoms. The reasoning behind that is, number one, it is a genetic hereditary situation that my grandmother had on my mum's side, but also because it's karmic for me, okay? I have to pull back and focus more on me because I'm too used to giving to other people, okay? And there is an imbalance in my energy. The boundaries within my own energetic field are being abused, and so I have to pull back and ensure that I'm defending myself against that and honouring myself, okay? That's why the symptoms were presented. Secondary to that, it's karmic within my ancestral lineage, but also past life wise. So this would have been a cycle that I'd continued through a past life, and I was born into this bloodline in order to resolve that. Not only that, but my grandmother, who was extraordinarily intuitive as well as my mother, didn't actually use their great gifts. They passed it to me, and now I am left to do the work. So that sounds terrible, but essentially it's about changing ancestral karma so that the buck stops, that the cycle is closed out, that it's an ancestral thing that is being closed. It's like I'm changing my DNA, essentially, is what I'm needing to do. But there's also karmic stuff for me to learn from it. Now, obviously, you're probably sat there saying, what on earth does this have to do with me? This cycle is an ongoing cycle because until I learn that balance, there will always be these symptoms, okay? As you can see, sometimes I shake, I have tremors. Sometimes I'm totally incapacitated. Sometimes I'm wiped out where I can't physically function, okay? Because the energy is not being pulled back on myself. And until I learn that, that's a symptom that I'll suffer, okay? So, and yes, it does help that I'm a healer, so I can work on my own energy, because obviously that does have an influence. Also, I'm prone to psychic attacks. So again, it's readdressing that balance whereby I'm allowing my boundaries to be too open. So sometimes I have to lay the boundaries down, and that will allow my energy to recalibrate, and therefore balance occurs. Within your situations, look at the symptoms around you. Look at the situations going on around you at the moment, okay? Where is there an imbalance? What does that mean? Okay. For example, is there a money issue? So what you would then look at is, where are you giving money away, time away, energy away too freely? Because money is an energetic exchange. Okay. It's an energy exchange like any other energy exchange. And if you don't have money, there is a lack or maybe a control element to it. This is about looking at those common cycles over specifically the last year. Okay. Because you're going to have an idea in your head about what this is going to be in reference to. This is the main theme for this month, right? And it doesn't matter if you don't fully conclude it this month, but it's asking you to be that as your focus from where I'm hearing it from my guides. Now, again, if you're sat there thinking, well, again, I don't have anything like that. It could be to do with your love life, okay? It could be that maybe you're looking for love and you're not receiving love. Well, then are you giving love to yourself? It's a multifaceted element in that aspect where, if you're looking for work or you're not getting recognition at work, are you recognizing yourself? That there's a dualistic element of the self and others that are asking to be reviewed and looked at, okay, for Geminis, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs. So what I would do is make a list of all the common things that you've seen, occurrences, maybe things that have been of high benefit, things that have maybe not gone so great. Look at the common themes, because let's say, for example, you've narrowed it down to the fact that you give all your time to others, then you'd have to pull it back onto you. And I'm hearing, if you are then in your mind now sat there thinking, but isn't that selfish? That's your issue, because looking after yourself is not a selfish act. What you then need to do is look back as to why you're being programmed, or have been programmed maybe from childhood, from people around you, external influences, as to why you would believe looking after yourself, self-care, self-love is a selfish act, because it's not. It's about a recalibration of an energetic balance, because when there's an energetic balance, you are then open to all the possibilities. You are not being restricted, and there's an influx of give and take equally in measure, okay? This is going to be very important this month, and I'll tell you why. There is going to be an eclipse on the 26th of December 2019, okay? It's an extraordinarily important one. The reason I say that is, on the 26th, when there is an eclipse, okay, you're going to have the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, and the South Node all in one placement, okay, within a couple of degrees of each other in Capricorn, right? So not only does the Sun and the Moon equate to the masculine and feminine, okay, which is either within ourselves, but also externally, so love. You've got Jupiter, which is the planet of fortunes, expansion, luck. Okay, you've got planet Mercury, which is about communication, ideas, change. Okay, and then you've got the South Node, which is karma. Okay, there is a massive potential to close out a karmic cycle with this. Okay, and then transition into the new year. Now, we've just had Neptune go direct, which means that there is going to be a lot clearer intuition. Okay, maybe a little bit less illusionary elements going on, whereby you will be able to see a lot clearer. But also with Neptune going direct in the sign of Pisces, and actually it's about to sort of start traveling and complete a cycle into Aries, which will take a long while. But with it being in Pisces, this is probably going to involve some kind of upgrade for you on a spiritual level. Now, obviously, you'd have to look at your own individual charts to see where your South Node lands and what planets are going to be in Capricorn. Okay, because that will really heavily affect you. If you've got, say, Mars in Capricorn, it's going to really change how you drive forward with things. If you've got Venus hitting amongst any of these things, or it's in your South Node, or hitting against your South Node or North Node, it's going to affect your love life. So, but you'd have to look at your individual charts in order to give that. This is obviously only a general reading. Please email me if you want me to have a look for you. We can have a look. Obviously, that would involve a charge. So, let's see what else they want to... Okay, they're also talking here about the Sun and the Moon being obviously the eclipse. Now, again, this is also a reference to twin flames, with Gemini being a very dualistic sign, with the fact that there is a sun and a moon that is combining and having a sort of a combined efforts and energies, you may feel a fluctuation around those dates. Okay, so if you feel very charged energetic wise around the 26th, again, look at your chart. It's going to show you a lot to do with that theme that you're going to close out, but also what is going to be energetically driven around that time. I'm hearing compassion. They're talking about also being compassionate towards yourself and being compassionate to others. So if you've had short temper, short fuse, not willing to listen to other people, not willing to look at other outlooks, that could be called into question, because I'm just hearing compassion. So that also may be a theme. Maybe you're feeling like you're not getting compassionate ears or support. Again, it's about looking at, are you being compassionate with yourself? Are you being easy on yourself? Are you being too hard on yourself? Therefore, you're then harder on other people. Okay. Are you expecting compassionate from energy from others, but then you're too hard on yourself? Can you understand there's that balance there? Because this is what they're asking you to have a look at. They're also talking here about divine will, okay? So again, it could be that you're extraordinarily determined to complete something around that time and wrap things up quickly, and I don't want to deal with this into the next year. Okay, I understand your need to drive that forward, but release the control, because don't forget, again, another theme, if you're holding on too tight, is that trying to tell you to loosen your grip a little bit, because actually you're restricting the flow. Okay, so they're saying, right, get onto the cards now. So we're going to pull the cards for Geminis to see what else we can pick up for the month of December 2019 for Gemini, and then we'll sort of have a look to see what else is going to be happening here. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December, please, 2019. Interesting. A few interesting cards coming out already. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019, please. What can Geminis expect to see? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising signs and or Venus for the month of December 2019. This is a new deck, so please bear with me. It's a fresh deck, so it's going to not have my energy on it as yet, which means that the cards might be a little bit harder to sort of, immediately come out and pull out, let's say. But all in good time. We're not going to rush this. We want the information to be correct and accurate for you guys. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December, please. What is it Geminis can expect to see? Thank you so much. Interesting. Yeah. Interestingly, they want me to take that one as well. Interestingly, there's a lot of very strong energies already coming out with this deck, okay? It's going to be interesting to see once we get an overall picture as to what the kind of current themes are. Let's have a look. Two more cards. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs, please. Right, they want me to take all of these as well. Let's have a quick look. Okay. There is very distracting energy going on around the month of December, okay? You are probably going to be asked to be looked at and going in very different directions. There could be an element of confusion as well, because we've got the concentration card that has come up, okay? This is asking you to really look at what your needs and requirements are, okay? Now, as you could see, the star is in a cobweb, okay? This is about a manifestation of an opportunity here that is being driven and is being evolved into, okay? So you're going to be, and you probably have been over the course of quite a while, because this is also Saturn in Gemini. A lot of, I'm hearing needed changes. It's like you've tried to extract and gather change. This could also relate to love, because I'm seeing here, again, can you see this imp, this elf, this person is riding the lips? It's like maybe either you or someone around you is not wanting to divulge something, and you're trying not to allow that information out. The other element of this could be that someone around you is also being a little bit sort of withdrawn and they're focusing on not saying too much about a situation because they don't want a problem. Okay, and the reason I say that is because underneath this card we've got risk. Okay, so there's something within your life here that you feel could be a risk, and therefore you are trying to ascertain whether that is a perceived risk or a real risk. Okay, the fact that the risk card has a key and a plant, a tree that is, you know, growing pentacles. Firstly, the fact that the key is here means that there is an opportunity to go forward in this situation, and it can be fruitful because obviously the tree holds and yields pentacles. So there's a potential reward at the end of this, but you will be weighing up the pros and cons of the situation in order to determine whether or not it's a perceived risk or a real risk. Okay, this is probably going to be a very strong primary theme around this month, because as you can see, the concentration with the risk card came out. So it's asking you and requiring you to focus your intentions on that situation so that you can make sure that you are moving forward essentially in the best way possible. Okay, it also says it can indicate a strain in your relationships with siblings. It's also talking about talking one's way into an important job, using much concentrated research to achieve something, long conscientious study, ignoring someone's deliberate distractions. So again, look at the distractions going on around you. Is something trying to deliberately remove you from that? And if that is the case, what is the reasoning behind it? Because this is the thing. I'll be honest with you, it feels to me like this energy could be around not just work and money. This is also, I feel, around love life. It could be that you are trying to figure out a love interest's real agenda, okay? Because the reason I'm saying that is the resourceful card also came up, okay? The resourceful card is literally about holding on to something. It's about acquiring possessions, acquiring things. So it's almost like you are trying to figure out essentially what you want to release and what you want to keep in a situation. Again, it could be work, could be finances, could be friends, family, could be siblings, it could be love. Okay, but let's have a look at the rest of the spread and we'll see again what context this could be in. Now the next situation here is we've got flirtation here. So this is in reference to love. Okay, so I'm hearing a dominant. So it could be someone who either is a fire sign, because we've got Venus and Sagittarius here. Again, we've also got risk, which is showing Saturn in Aries. Okay, so we've got two very strong fire signs there. Now, again, if this is not another placement in your chart, this could be someone else we're referring to. Flirtation is usually someone that is potentially offering a scenario to you, or there's a love interest whereby there's a spark going on there. But there's nothing quite set in stone yet. It's an evaluation process that you're going under or around. Now, don't forget, if you're sat here watching this going, I don't have anyone in my life, then you need to be aware that this could be someone new, because flirtation is not a full-blown development of an affection or a situation. This is usually an initial starting period. It could be maybe someone that you've known in the past that is coming back around, that was friends. Maybe they're developing this further and they now want to sort of take it from friends into something a bit more involved. Okay, is this Mars or Mercury? Now, with it being Mercury, it is also about change. So again, this could be someone new. This could be someone either that's, as I say, friends that are now wanting to come forward and offer something a bit more in depth, or it's not Mercury, it looks like Venus. Yeah, for some reason, yeah, look, it's Venus. They're saying, but still take on board the change element, because the guides have just confirmed there's no coincidences when I'm saying certain things in these readings. Usually there's a lot of hidden messages as well. So like I say, if you hear me mispronounce, or if you're hearing me say something different than what I'm showing on the card, there's a very deliberate reason for it. Okay, so this is basically, flirtation is basically a possibility of marriage or a relationship with someone from another country. Often this comes from a meeting at a university or other learning institution. Obviously, if that's not the case, just take it as it resonates. If this is not the case with your person, it doesn't mean to say that that's not the person. Just, it's a general reading. Women who choose this card usually seek a heroic, adventurous kind of partner. This is a foreign lover or a holiday romance that blossoms. A marriage abroad, a light-hearted flirtation just for the adventure. So again, this is either something that is developing into a very, very stable, secure energy, or this is something that is a bit flirtatious and fun, okay? Now, we've also got the ostentation card here underneath this, okay? The ostentation card is usually very, I mean, this is Saturn in Taurus here, so someone could have a very strong Taurian element. This is usually someone who is very much about the finer things in life. This is someone who likes status, who likes the good life, things that the sort of, you know, more practical pentacle type of energy brings, so monetary gain, status, that kind of thing. It's like maybe they're viewing you, this person views you as a power couple, or you guys have a ability to create abundance, or there's something very fruitful about the situation or the dynamic that could allow this to potentially grow into something massive. Now, the only thing I will say with that is there is also an indecision, okay, about this situation. Now, the indecision could be for several different reasons. We can go into that in a second. But with the indecision cards, one or both of you are not quite sure where you want this to go, okay? So let's say, for example, this is just a new contact where you're just having fun and nothing stable and solid has been developed. It could be that they're just still trying to weigh things up, or they don't know you enough, or maybe you are. If it's something more evolved and you're in a relationship with this person, then again, it could be that you're in a rest period or an incubation period where they're asking you to review your choices as well as the other person. It could be one or both of you. They're saying both, okay? Now, because this indecision card is Venus in Aquarius, they could have that energy in their chart. Either you could have a Venus in Aquarius, they could have a Venus in Aquarius. Again, it's an air sign. So this is someone who could also be a bit unconventional. So in terms of a more stable, solid relationship, it could be that they are a little bit more reserved in terms of pushing that forward, because they are wanting to take the broader view, because again, we've got the Sagittarius as well in Venus. Sagittarius is about looking at the broader perspective, and Aquarius is about kind of worldly awareness, you know? So this is someone, a visionary, okay? If it's not you, it'll be them or both. And that's probably going to be the focus as well within this situation, but also in general. You are wanting to take a look at the bigger picture. You are going to want to keep your perspective wide, because for you it means that you don't rule anything out, or you don't miss out on something. That could also be what the indecision is in reference to. Okay. However, the good news is we've got enthusiasm here. So one or both of you are going to know that this is a really, really fruitful, prosperous type of union, because as you can see, we've got the sun also above the moon and the stars here, and it's also showing me Sagittarius, sun in Sagittarius. Again, Sagittarius is going to be a very strong sign. We've got quite a few cards in Sagittarius. I'm also seeing Libra. I'm seeing Libra, Aquarius. I'm seeing all the air signs essentially, but there seems to be a lot more Sagittarian energy going on at the moment within this spread. So with the enthusiasm, I'm hearing prosperous. So again, it's kind of going back to that ostentatious energy where maybe they are thinking that they could develop a partnership, not just within a love capacity. It could be maybe a business partnership. It's something that they see, or you see, to be a very, very fruitful energy or exchange or a potential, okay? Now, interestingly, we've got the submission card, okay? So it could be that within this energy, there's a bird caged. One or both of you are feeling that you may have to take a step back or step down, or sacrificial energy, whereby your needs may not be as taken into consideration, or maybe their needs are maybe not as taken into consideration, where one or both of you are, one or both of you are going to feel like you have to withdraw a little bit in order to maintain your own, with a sort of individualistic power, or honoring your own divinity. It could be that one or both of you within this dynamic feels a little bit overpowered, and therefore one has to take a submissive sort of element and the other one is the leader. It's like there's a recalibration going on here. And do you remember what I said at the beginning of the reading, where if there's a common theme, take it back and do the opposite? So if you're relating to this and you're thinking, yeah, actually I always do put my partner first, turn it around. It's not to say you don't care about them. It's to say you need to recalibrate this energy, because don't forget we had the indecision card, and this isn't Aquarius, this is Libra. So this is about Venus in Libra. So this is about a recalibration, a rebalance, okay? Now, interestingly, we've also got under the enthusiasm, the submission cards, we've got flattery, okay? Now, this is the thing. One or both of you could feel within this situation, and again, if this isn't a love situation now, this could also be about work. Maybe you feel like you're having to take the back seat within a work situation. Maybe you are enthusiastic about a project, but one or the other parties are involved are taking a more controlling element to it, and you feel like you're having to take a step back. Whatever the situation is, the flattery card indicates a need for egoic rubbing, an ego rub, or maybe you feel like you're not complimented enough, or maybe your partner feels like they're not complimented enough. Whatever you're resonating with, again, there's a need for balance. It's like one or both of you in the situation. It's whoever is feeling the one that's in the submission energy feels like either maybe you're reaching out too much and flattering their ego and they're not reciprocating, and then again, that's another imbalance. Overall, the energies are good, but there's one or two tweaks that, again, they're asking you to have a look into with this. Now, again, because the power card has come up here, there could be an imbalance within this, as I've mentioned before. Now, can you see that sun and that moon that is appearing through that pillar? This is in reference to the eclipse that I've mentioned previously. So it could be, again, because I mentioned Mars, it could be that this is going to recalibrate around that time for you, okay? Which means after that eclipse, you guys are going to clear the air, there's a recalibration, and then there's a more balanced approach that will be taken. But one or both of you are feeling, again, if it's not a love situation, it will be either work, money, maybe you feel one party out of, a group of you is more dominant, is more in control, is more able to affect how things are moving forward. So as I say, now with the lady that's lying down here, not that you can see it, with the lady that's lying down here, this is essentially a woman who is dreaming. This is a dream, okay? So you could be getting very prophetic dreams at the moment. Don't forget what I mentioned about Neptune going direct. You could be having an influx of very, very clear dreams. They're saying write a dream journal, because you are really going to get some insight. Now, again, I haven't put it on my description for the video, but I do also do dream analysis. Again, email me. I can have a look at that for you. Again, it would be a chargeable thing, but let me know. Now, within the power card that we've just pulled, underneath that, we pulled the principle, okay? So now, again, Jupiter in Sagittarius, again, another Sagittarian energy. So what principles are being overlooked here within this connection? What moral integrity, ethical energies are you wanting to bring forward within this situation, whether it's work, money, career, family, love? Where does your ethical boundaries, your moral compass lie? And who is extending over those boundaries and who isn't, okay? And if they are going over those boundaries, what can you do to pull it back? Because Spirit just said you're not a sacrificial lamb, okay? You're not here to be, here we go, I'm just going to give you everything and I'm going to just sit here and wait to see if I'm going to get anything back. No. And this is not about going in full force where you're, obliterating them with your words, because again, we have to acknowledge there's a balance here, okay? Whenever we're being shown dualistic energy, there's something we can gain from it. Okay, usually there's a recalibration within ourselves that needs to take place, and that's why externally we're seeing a lot of these dualistic elements, okay? So what it's asking you to do is take the energy back and have a look at where this energy lies within you. Where are the changes within yourself that you need to be adhering to, that you need to be acknowledging, that you need to be changing? It starts with you. You are a direct reflection of your environment. That stands for relationships. That is also about money. That everything, absolutely everything we see within our own reality is an external reflection as ourselves. The saying, as above, so below, as within, so without, So we are a manifestation of us and how we are needing to kind of strive towards our goals, okay? And that stands for everything. Now, with the information that I gave earlier about my own situation. Is it hard? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes. Is it annoying? Yes. Have I sat and gone, oh, what on earth? Why me? Yes, because I'm a human being. Do we stay in that energy? No. We fight and we keep going, because there's a reason for this. They're not sat there viewing you going, we don't want you to feel empowered. We don't want you to feel that you have to be in, we want you to be in submission. We want you to feel like you're the second best. And this is about a bigger picture and a bigger, wider perspective. Now, I know my past lives, so I can have a look and go, that kind of makes all sense now. I've looked at the whole perspective, why this situation, why my past lives, how it interconnects. Luckily for me, I can do that. And it makes sense as to why I'm working through what I'm working through, okay? But there's a reason for this as well. This is, and don't forget, and I believe you me, this is not the first. This is not like I've sailed through my life and suddenly now this. This is usually spiritual people have kind of especially healers. They, the path of the wounded healer is not an easy one. We do not come into these lives sat there going, I'll tell you what, I'll pick the hardest one. Why not? Just bored otherwise. There is a reason for it, okay? There is a strong reason for it. Trust that there is a reason for all of this. And no, it's not to punish you because you need it or deserve it. It's to recalibrate something. And it's not just about this one theme that I've given, which is the imbalance and the dualistic nature. This could have been a theme that you've brought through a million different past lives, and now the buck stops with you here, okay? Which is why, again, important to look at themes, important to look at any blocks or energetic barriers that you're feeling are there, and where the opposite of that lies, which is where your focus should be, okay? And this is the thing. I can feel when I'm talking at the moment that someone is watching this going, but I don't know how. And I don't know how much more of this I can take. You've got this. I know you've got this. And the reason I know you've got this is I would have given up 3 years ago when this started, 3.5 years ago. No, I'm not coming back and doing this again. I'm going to get it done now. Because then it's done, isn't it? We don't have to worry about that again. So in actual fact, it's good because we are being given an opportunity here to really assess what needs to be moved along and what needs to be taken with us on our paths, yeah? And the guides have made a good point. And now this is not to say you all of you are going to be in a victim energy. I'm not saying that. But for those who are sat there going, yeah, but I can't, yeah, but you can. Because I'll tell you what, I wish I'd have filmed what I've gone through, because then maybe you'd understand what I'm saying. But obviously at the same time, why would I? I wouldn't put anyone through watching that, We're not victims. We're not victims. We are here to recalibrate and to develop ourselves into the most positive versions of ourselves that we can have, okay, and that we are. And everything you are being given is something that you are able to achieve, otherwise you wouldn't be given it. Yes, bitter pill to swallow. I completely relate to you. Bitter pill, you can, but it's important to focus on the reality rather than the negative elements of it, because otherwise if we sat and focused on the negative elements of it, we would never get anything done, Now, within the power and the principle energy here, we've got originality. Okay, this is about new approaches. This is about a concerted effort to try something, a different way of doing things in order to complete the task at hand. Okay, not that you can see that because the webcam's horrific. I promise I'm going to get a new one soon, guys, so that you don't have to suffer with my ridiculous holding up the card for 15 years. We're going to get there eventually. Originality. So Aquarius energy there. So this is the inventory energy. This is the dynamic, brand new, original energy here. So this is about a path that is being carved, okay? Power, principle, originality. So it's about asserting your own power, okay, within your own energy, to assert your own principles that are important to you, to carve the new way of doing things. The originality element shows that this is going to bring new energy to you. And by bringing new energy to you, it resolves a cycle, which is going to bring in brand new, okay, which is always good. Okay, now what does that give you if you were to look into that? Exaltation. one of the best cards you can get. This is about exaltation within planets. Is the most fortunate type of planetary alignment you can have. You know, it's about abundance. It's about fortune events. Okay, the moon, obviously, in this is also about changing, fluctuation. Well, at one point we're gonna this is about security, okay? This is about your own security, what you actually need. So it could be that your principles around your security are going to change and that you're going to review that emotionally, your emotional needs. But there's also going to be a benefit because there's an exaltation, okay? Now, interestingly, underneath that, we've got the assertion card. So again, this is about not domination and, you know, we're going to kind of do X, Y, and Z. This is about showing your needs and asserting your needs to others, okay? Now, this is Sun in Aries. Aries being the first fire sign here. Aries is usually a very dynamic, very driven sign, but it's also quite well known for Aries to be a little focused on the self rather than the others. The first house being the self, the seventh, which is opposite, being Libra, which is the others. The first house is Aries. Now, again, with the links to the, you know, the power, the principle, the submission, where have you put your needs secondary? As per the beginning part of this reading, where, because I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, I know where I did. I put too much of my energy out onto other people and I didn't focus on myself. And this is because of this energy, my boundaries weren't in place, okay? So I'm the first person to acknowledge my own weaknesses here. Okay, and that doesn't mean to say that whoever listens to this can now start testing my boundaries, because believe you me, people who underestimate me usually are learning very quickly not to. Just an FYI, so don't think just because I'm sharing this that you can start sliding under the radar, because believe you me, I'm a Scorpio moon and I see everything, all right? Just a heads up there. With the assertion card, this is about maintaining your own boundaries. I had psychic attack for 3.5 years, to the point of my best friend saw me being psychically attacked and was hysterical because she'd never seen anything like it. But that's, again, my own boundaries. And it's not just within this lifetime, it's also past life karma that I had to resolve, okay? Because, yeah, I was, in previous lifetimes, I was a practitioner of the dark arts and I took the absolute mick, you know? So now, when I'm extending my services, my energy out too much to people, what it does is it sends a message to the universe to say, my boundaries are open, it's a free-for-all. Which is why I get this energy attack and the psychic attack, which is why I display MS type symptoms. You know, I get the spasms, I get the sort of not being able to sleep, I get, you name it, you don't want to know, honestly. Once you then assert your energy back and really pull that energy back in and start laying the boundaries down and then paint, I mean, this is one of the reasons I'm doing my YouTube channel, because, again, I overstepped boundaries in my past lives, therefore I'm here to pay a lot of that back, which is why I do these videos. It's one of the reasons, okay? Just one of the reasons. There are other reasons as well, but so yeah, where can you assert your own independence, your own belief system, your own morality, ethics, without stepping on people? You know, again, we don't want to go to the other extreme and take it into this kind of Machiavellian type of energy, or where it's very egoic and you're stepping on people, because again, that's not the right way either. This is about what my guides call walking the gold line, okay? And what walking the gold line means is that we are both light and dark, okay? We are both masculine and feminine. We strive for the middle ground, which is what they call the gold line, where we're walking the grey, okay? So we're taking parts of the light, we're taking parts of the dark, and then we're utilising them to move forward, okay? It's not a cop-out. It's not, you know, some kind of, you know, I'm just going to sit on the fence the rest of my life. This is about, in terms of, kind of dealing with things, situations, it's about understanding why things are happening and taking the most needed approach, okay? Now, again, this is not to say that if you are always someone that sits on, you know, the walks the gold line, and that you are always someone who doesn't strive for things, it means that you have to take more of an effort to strive for things, okay? It's about a middle ground, essentially, all right? Now, again, underneath the exaltation and assertion is we've got the idealism card, okay? Now, the idealism card is Sun in Aquarius, yet again, another Aquarius energy, and that's the number 11. So I'm just going to read it from the book here, because they're asking me to read it from the book. So this is the suit of fortune. So this potentially could be something that you'll see from it. This is about principles and humanity. So it says a minstrel. Right, and please don't sort of, again, this is an old school illustration. If I'm reading something that is offensive from the illustrated book, because the kind of images are old school, and it's not meant to hurt or offend anyone. This is, I mean, look, I'm a Taurus, so I'm also someone who loves art. I don't look at this and go, oh my goodness, that terminology is offensive. I look at this and think, interesting that at that point in time when that was painted, that was an acceptable thing to do. Look at how much we've changed. I don't focus on the actual wording and go, I'm offended because this word was used. Now I'm going to say a word now, and if you're offended by it, maybe look into why that offends you, because usually triggers are underlying emotions that you have that are waiting to be brought up. Yes, I'm a healer, and sometimes my words are meant to trigger. I'm a catalyst as well, which means that sometimes I utilize the words that is going to best get the best result from you, so that there is a healing that takes place. So let's begin. I'll let you have a look at the card first properly. It says, a minstrel pipes accompaniment to the eccentric journey of a dignitary casually riding a mule. The rider carries a cornucopia in one hand and a wand in the other. Above, an angel pours the free-flowing Aquarian wisdom on those below. Okay, so it says, when this card occurs in a reading, it often indicates help from friends with power and influence. It shows that taking the lead in a group activity could be rewarding, especially if the cause arouses the questioner's humanitarian instincts. The event also is eccentric behaviour, an original idea or an invention, involvement in an attention-seeking act, sudden upset, lateral thinking, and influential acquaintance gives a helping hand. Okay, it says, the Sun Aquarius character could be defined as having an unusual, determined, and sometimes stubborn temperament. Such types are not too concerned about what others think about their beliefs and behaviour, and so may be considered original, if not downright eccentric. Questioning old stick-in-the-mud ways and exploring the new is very much what Aquarians are about. Now, don't forget, this is not to say that this is an Aquarius reading. This is for Gemini. This is just an element of this month, okay? Mental achievements are most important to Sun Aquarius types, and their quest is a constant exchange of ideas with others in order to fix their own beliefs. Their needs cause them to gather around them friends and acquaintances of all shapes, sizes, creeds, and colours. Sun Aquarians value interesting friendships with inventive or scientific people, and anything new, novel, scientific, or gadgetry also has appeal. Essentially, that a person of the 21st century, the Sun Aquarian keeps up with the times and supports the causes that takes us into the future. It is with this latter concern that people with this planet sign combination may find real satisfaction bringing their sympathy for human problems to realistic and good causes. So it could be that this new energy not only allows you to bring into, your question your own kind of visions, but maybe you're taking part, or you're part of a charity or a cause that means a lot to you. There is going to be negotiation around this energy, around this kind of month, whereby probably there's going to be a balance that's required. It could be that, again, maybe the person that you're involved with has certain ideals or energies that they want you to kind of focus on more than you're able to do. Maybe your priorities is to sort of look at more humanitarian efforts rather than the relationship, and that's causing, the relationship to sort of be reviewed and questioned. Obviously just take it as it resonates. Let's see what else is going to come up here. What is the other energies within this, please, Spirit? Okay, that's far too many cards. Okay, what else can Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs expect to see, please, for December 2019? What else can they expect to see, please? Okay, if this is someone that is at a distance from you or is in a different country, I'm just going to put it out there, they're probably not going to come and visit you this month for some of you. Just an FYI. It's almost like, I want to say it's a bit on hold. because we've also pulled the resistance card and the loss in reverse. So it's like you might be holding, one or two of you might be holding on to something that you know is no longer valid or no longer going to happen because you're worried what working on you would mean, or, you know, how that would look in your life. So again, let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, look, to be honest with you, this is not a race. You know, it's not a sprint to the finish. This is about building up a firm foundation. Now, I've just pulled the inheritance card and companionship. The companionship can mean a relationship, okay? But with the inheritance card in front, it's also about building up something of significance over a longer period of time. So it could be that you have a partial deepening of the relationship for this month, but it's like, sorry, that was the other way around that came out. It just might not come to full fruition here because, again, inheritance is usually a longer term investment. Yeah, and also, again, if it's not you that's unconventional, it'll be the other person, because we've got convention in the reverse, okay, which is, again, a Capricorn energy, Venus and Capricorn energy. Because it's in reverse, it means that, again, this person might like their independence, they might like their freedom, and therefore they're not willing to just go, yeah, I've met you now and let's just kind of let's do it. This is a slow burn, okay? So over the month of December, yes, it will deepen, but it's like there needs to be more energy put into it for it to really see where the effects will go, okay? Interestingly, if you've also been questioning whether or not there's external influences that are putting this on hold or not allowing this to develop, they're saying no. And the reason I say that is because the influence card has come up in reverse, and usually the influence card is about, again, a change of distractive energies. This could be sexual. It could be that, again, maybe they're not interested in that and you're thinking, well, what's going on there? It could just be that they want to build this up and it's a slow burn. They don't want to rush into anything. This is not someone who is making a rush, okay, or wanting to rush. Let's read the companion card. Yeah, here we go. So it says Moon in Libra. Could also be a Libra or have Moon energy in Libra. It says above, 4 classical feminine figures link arms in friendship. Below, hands grasping greeting. The pomegranate is a symbol of the sun and indicates fertility and growth. Okay, so it says the emotions of Moon Libra people are invariably influenced by those around them. When this card is chosen, it often indicates a marriage or relationships entered into purely for emotional and domestic security. Because of the moon's link with the home and Libra's unusual good taste, the companionship card will indicate someone who has a beautiful home. It says events, beautifying the home, discussions about business or contracts, seminars, teamwork, new friendships, social meetings. So in answer to your question, because the inheritance card came out first, this is usually something that has potential for a long term. You know, we've got fertility here, we've got marriage potential here. But again, with the inheritance card beginning at the beginning of that, don't forget, this person's not a conventional person, so it might take a little while to build up, okay? But we've got the inheritance, which is a long-standing build-up and or investment into an emotional investment into something that, because again, it's Scorpio. So this is not a superficial, like, yeah, we don't really care. This is something that that person, again, if this is not you, if you're not the one that's kind of sat there thinking, I want to take my time, if it's them, they're trying to do the right thing. Okay, they're trying to do the right thing. My guys I feel like someone's watching this feeling like there's something weird going on with one or two of the energies. Let me just ask that question, because I feel like one or two, I don't know if I'm picking up on a lot of you or some of you. What is being hidden at the moment from Geminis? Because I feel like I need to ask that question. Now, I don't know if this is me just being cautious as a Scorpio moon. What is something that is being hidden from Gemini, please? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. What is something that is being hidden in the month of December? I feel like someone feels that whoever this person is, that is at a distance or is in a foreign area or is not near them, they feel like someone's hiding something. Now, again, maybe I'm just being paranoid here, but I don't know, maybe because I feel like I'm picking up on you. Someone feels like something's off. And if something's off, let's have a look. Okay, that's an interesting one. Right. if someone has been avoiding you, or someone starts avoiding you going, oh no, I'm fine, I'm just maybe off a bit, you know, I feel a bit ill. Because we've got the health card here. Now, maybe this is you, or maybe this is your significant other. Take it as it resonates, or it could be a friend. There's something around a health thing here. Now, that's not to say you're being diagnosed with all these horrible conditions, of course. You know, let's be realistic. But what I would say is if you do have a health concern, obviously that needs to be looked at. But if it's someone around you who's utilising that as you know, maybe an excuse, some of you, I feel like you already know that this is maybe a bit of a porky pie, you know. Now, the other card we got was revenge. Okay, now don't panic when you see this. It doesn't have to be anything ridiculous. Now, because obviously we've got Mars in Scorpio here, again, another Scorpio energy. If someone's acting a bit petty around you, maybe they're ignoring you, or maybe they're going, oh no, you know, I'm ill, you know, la la. It could be that they misinterpreted something you did, and therefore it's a tit for tat energy. Revenge doesn't have to be extreme, okay? So just bear that one in mind when you're watching this video. We are not all doom and gloom here, but we are realistic, okay? So if someone is doing a tit for tat type of thing, be aware it's probably a little bit of a display of petty behaviour. And the reason they're probably doing it is because they may feel that they don't have control of this, okay? We've got the assertion card here as well. So again, maybe they feel like they're not in control of the situation. Maybe they feel that the emotions are a bit deeper than they were expecting, and that you've got all the control, and that now they just don't know what to do. So therefore, maybe you pulled back because maybe you were focusing on something, and now they're doing the same thing. It's like this tennis match, you know? We've also got principle. So again, it could be that one or both of you have very strong principle and ideas, and it's like you're not quite on the same page yet, and that needs to be recalibrated. Okay, we're going over a little bit here, but let's see what oracle cards we can. I want me to do these ones. Okay, so Spirit, for the sign of Gemini, for the month of December 2019, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. What can you tell us for outcomes, please, for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019? Outcomes, please, Spirit. A woman holding a heart. Very positive. Very, very positive. What else can you tell us? It also adds up to a number 8. So number 44 cards. So 4 being the home, Cancerian energy. The double 4 being an 8, which is a Scorpio energy. So again, another water sign. Could be a lot of very intense emotions going on this month. Oh, guys, that pomegranate, the fertility pomegranate, this could be on the way. For some of you, I can't guarantee all of you. As much as I'd love to. Let's have a look what other outcomes we can give for those. Right, so Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. What is the other outcomes, please? What are the other outcomes, Geminis? Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. What are the other outcomes, please? What are the other outcomes? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for the month of December. Outcomes, please, Spirit. Goodness me, it's taking its time, isn't it? Yay! Movement. This could indicate for some moving home. There could be a change, a transitional energy of, like I said before, a recalibration of a balance within a relationship. This could also mean travel for some, okay? Let's have a look. Let's get some... Okay, so outcomes, please. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. Outcomes. A little bit of overthinking maybe. Okay, so just watch for any overthinking. Okay, so maybe if you're overthinking, maybe something's going on, or there's something isn't coming to fruition quickly. Again, don't forget, if you're thinking too much, we need to recalibrate that and take it back to the heart center, because that's the kind of dualistic opposite of that. So if you're overthinking, just try and connect with your heart center. because don't forget, we need to recalibrate this dualistic side, okay? Is this upright or the other way? Is this the other way? Okay, 1 or 2 of you could be expecting children. This is the tribe, okay? This is usually the card of someone expecting a child, okay? So there's a heck of a lot of fertility going on here. And at the bottom of the deck is a higher power. Okay, guys, so some really positive outcomes there. So I'm wishing you guys all the very best of luck. Hopefully this has been of some benefit to you guys. Good luck for the 26th of December. Have a wonderful Christmas or New Year, whatever you're celebrating. And if you don't celebrate those, have a wonderful December. I do post videos Monday to Friday. Tomorrow's video is going to be Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. If you want to put a suggestion as to the next pick a card reading, then by all means I'm open to suggestions. Yeah, I wish you all the very best of luck and take good care, guys. Bye.